The title of this recording is The Christian Religion G. The Christian Religion G. Segment or Section G. Now we're talking about the three wise men. Let me say this. Okay, the Bible doesn't really make clear that there was only three wise men, but this is what we grew up with, so that's why I say three wise men. So you have something to relate to. Also, the Bible doesn't make really clear on who these people were, but if you go to Wikipedia, they'll give you three or four, maybe more, different ideas of who these people were. I kind of favor the one that says, okay, one of these people was from Persia, and that was from the Zoroaster ideas. One of these people was from India, and that was from the Buddhist ideas, and one of these people was from Mesopotamia or Iraq or whatever the heck it was called back in those days. And you know, that was a different set of ideas, but Daniel, the prophet Daniel, spent most of his life there. So, you know, they had a bunch of wisdom teachings in that place too. As a matter of fact, some of it ended up in the Jewish teachings when the Persians took over that part of the world way earlier, for a time, and sent the Jews back to rebuild the temple. Now, or some of them anyway. So I want to say that, or make that point before we move on. But if you look this up on Wikipedia, you will, or any other source really, you'll get different ideas. And that's because there's no, here's the rock solid core deal. The only thing that we really know from the Bible is that they brought with them these men of wisdom, or these magi, or maguses. And I don't want to go too deep into that, but it tells you that there's a lot more to wisdom than we think there is. All right? I mean, it seriously delves into some of the deepest realms of the universe, and you know, it's some of the stuff the Baptists would say, oh, it's scary stuff, leave it alone, it's scary. However, they brought with them a box of gold, like gold, real gold, the metal gold, gave that to the little kid, the baby, the Christ Jesus baby, because they followed the star, and for somehow, some way, these people were also astrologers. And they also did a lot of other things that have to do with wisdom and stuff we've been brainwashed ever to look at. Don't ever look at that. That's horrible wickedness. Oh my God. But these people were participating in that because those places they came from, that's part of the study of wisdom. And I would be shocked out of my gourd if the very, very, very earliest Christians didn't accept this for what it really was. Hey, this is the study of wisdom. This is how it works. I'm looking at, want to know how the universe works. What do these stars mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? And the reason I say that is because that star that the Bible makes such a big deal out of, it's connected with the wise men that come and visit him. Now, obviously, if you're going to carry around a box of gold to give away, you're people of means, so they wouldn't be coming all by themselves. They would have their little entourage or bodyguards, or who knows. These are wise men, they're popular people. Who knows how many people really showed up? I don't know. I have no idea. But I mean, you can knock around on the internet, just take a few minutes and get some more rough ideas on that. So we're just kind of sticking with, you know, the basic story that's understood. These three men of Orient are, these three men have traveled so far. You know, that little song we used to sing, that stuff. Anyway, what we do know is these are wise men. They're coming because this is a very, very, very special event. This event marks the beginning of something new. And lo and behold, history proves it was the beginning of something new. And it's still in a time where it has affected the earth greatly. This one guy's life has done more to affect the earth. It might be a little far to say because I'm thinking of Nikola Tesla, but Tesla runs a pretty good second. Okay, but now you're in the world of physics and science. But in the world of here's the organic soul of human beings. Hey, Jesus Christ had a huge, still to this day has a huge impact, actually shifted the world. And as we get more looking into what the Christ was talking about, I mean, it's pretty deep stuff. And it has had massive effects because it shifts paradigms. Literally shifts paradigms and literally empowers people. And that's why I want us to look at that from this view instead of the view of, you need to be saved so you don't burn in hell. No. That's not what the Christ was talking about. He's talking about righteousness, which is actually a system of the Creator. He was talking about return to the Creator. Anyway, don't let me get sidetracked on that, because I will instinctively go off into a 45-hour ramble. I can't help myself. It's some sick madness I've got in my head when I talk about that. It's craziness. So, that's who the three wise men are. You can look up guesses and details and ideas, and each one of them had a different name. But I kind of go with the story of one of them's from India, one of them's from Persia, and one of them is very possibly from what is modern Iraq or Mesopotamia in those days. Okay, so we're talking about Babylonians, Babylon, that place, the ancient place, not some scary thing from Revelation. We're talking the actual place, Babylon. It's in Mesopotamia. That's where it is. And so I said all that to basically say, okay, and then Jesus was born. So now Jesus is born. And what is the first thing that happens? Holy criminy. Here comes the onslaught. Okay, here we go again. This is the same kind of stuff that happened with Moses surrounding all the little kids born at that time. Because, they're like the ruling class, the people, the ruling elite, or the conquering people that are running the show. They're like, nope, this is going to affect my power and I'm not going to have it, so we'll destroy the kid. We will destroy the kid, and we got to make sure we destroy the kid. Doesn't matter how many other kids die, we're going to destroy the kid. So what happens? It's the old war. Here we go again. The war that rages. The secret war that rages between the forces of light and the forces of darkness. So the darkness inside Herod rises up and says, kill the little brat. Kill the brat before he gets big enough, and don't let him get away. This could threaten my stuff, my power, and I represent the Roman Empire. It's a threat to the empire, which is whatever. Okay, the guy's not even a Roman, but he goes off and the Romans empower him to do all kinds of stuff. Plus he's got wealth and he's a king, King Herod. So he starts ordering, kill all the little kids. The same thing we saw in the same kind of war. And the reason I'm couching it, and the reason I'm putting it in these terms, because I want you to understand something really important, because history does in fact repeat itself. And the more you ignore the importance of historical events, and I'm not talking about dates